amazing moment for the city of Boston. To Chief John Barrows, whose voice speaks for so many in our city, and who has fought for our communities since his youth. And to Mayor Janey, Councillor Sabi George, Councillor Campbell, my sisters in service, it has been an absolute joy to experience this moment in Boston alongside you. To remember back 8 years ago to my very first run for the Boston City Council. Thank you to so many of you who were here then and who are here now and every year in between. I remember what it was like then, running to double the number. That year in 2013, we doubled it from 1 to 2. When I joined the incredible then Councillor Ayanna Presley on the Boston City Council. And every election cycle since, the city of Boston has sent more women of color, more people of color to represent our incredible city, to see what a difference that has made in policy. To my colleagues on the council, my sisters, I am so proud of where we are now and so grateful for your service. Woo! Yeah. And to everyone here, I am delighted to see you. I am humbled by your support. I am inspired by your leadership. Today is our 365th day on this mayoral campaign trail. And it was a beautiful day. What did you say?
Yes.
Yes. As we crisscross the city, visiting polling sites, standing with community members, I was reminded why we are in this fight. Reminded that when we are asking for votes, we are actually asking to listen to the vision of our community.
Talk about it. That's it.
Today, I heard stories of so many across our city. I met a veteran in East Boston who came to vote for the very first time to be part of our movement. As we were walking down the street after I voted in Rosendale, I met a mom driving by who pulled over the minivan to shout out the window that she was with us, voting for us for her son, who was a BPS student and a member of the disability community. I met a family in South Boston, living in public housing and fighting against the unhealthy living conditions that are affecting their little boy. I met a young woman in Mattapan, bubbling with passion about the community organization she has been planning to launch to connect her neighbors to services. Our challenges and our dreams are intertwined. I know that. I've known that my entire life. My parents came to this country not speaking English, nothing in their pockets, and they never could have imagined that one day their daughter would get to seek the office of mayor of Boston. When I came to this city as a homesick college kid, I never could have imagined that this would be the place, not only where I would build my family, find my home, but that would save the life of my mom as she would later struggle with mental illness, and connect my kids, my family, to every opportunity, every bit of stability that we cherish in our lives today. I never could imagine when I first ran for the Boston City Council that I would get to be part of this moment with all of you, fighting for that city that we dream of, that we know is possible in Boston. This is a campaign and this is a team that has always believed more is possible. And while the votes are still being counted tonight, we don't know the exact shape of what the next phase of this race will look like, we already know what the choice is for the city of Boston.
Yep.
This is about a choice for our future.
That's right.
Yep.
This is a choice about whether City Hall tackles our biggest challenges with bold solutions, or we nibble around the edges of the status quo. This is a choice about who is in the rooms where decisions are made, and about whether the doors are burst wide open so City Hall gets out of City Hall and into our neighborhoods, into our streets.
That's right.
Let's go, Michelle. That's my future mayor.
And this is a choice about whether we, in this very urgent moment, are taking every possible action to plan for that brightest future for our kids, for their kids after that. Boston is in a moment of incredible opportunity, and it is on our shoulders right now to step up and meet that moment. We know what's possible because we have seen it happen in this city again and again. In my 8 years on the council, we have taken on what we were told would be impossible challenges. How to ensure that paid parental leave would apply for everyone who worked for City Hall. How to dream about the idea that public transportation as a public good should be reliable. And then to get to sit on the very first free bus route in Boston. We've seen what's possible when we put our dollars to work in our communities, fighting for accountability when it comes to city contracts, and the equity that should be building wealth in Black and brown communities in Boston. We have seen what is possible when the companies that have been coming in to drive up rents with big loopholes around short-term rentals had to face the Boston City Council, the Massachusetts State House, and the people of Boston. We put in place the strongest protections anywhere in the country, and every city in the United States is now protecting their renters in that same way. More than anything else, I'm a mom. I wake up every day thinking about the future that we are leaving for our kids. And I know that in this city, if we dig deep down to the legacy of where we've been as a city, giving birth to this democracy, fighting for the important fights, standing together for abolition, civil rights, marriage equality, public education, public libraries, public parks. In Boston, when we come together, nothing is impossible. This is a moment on our shoulders when we get to push for that vision, that city that we dream of, for us to use every possible tool, every lever of power in city government to fight for housing stability, affordable housing, home ownership for our residents. To make sure that we are connecting our residents, our young people with opportunity, investing in the healthy, safe, nurturing schools that each one of our kids deserve.
What we need.
Fighting for our climate future, for the waters that are at our doorsteps, for the heat that is in our communities, to ensure that Boston will lead the way once again for climate justice and protecting each one of us. Now there's a little catch. Tonight is not a victory celebration. It is a thank you for how far we have come together and a reminder that we have 49 days to get it done. I want to thank everyone who has put in so much over the last year. My husband Connor. My in-laws. even here today. I'm from New York. My sisters, my family. To our amazing campaign team, our staff. Y'all better sleep in tomorrow.
I will. I know I will.
And to our incredible neighborhood teams, volunteers, everywhere I went across the city of Boston, I saw people building their communities from our neighborhoods, pushing for that vision of the future that includes every one of us. This is our campaign. This is the grassroots, multilingual, multi-generational, multicultural. This is Boston. And so for the next 49 days, I'm going to give it all I've got, but I need it all from you all too.
Let's go!
To all of those who volunteered for any campaign over this last year, to everyone who got involved in a race, knocked on a door, sent a message, called your friends, called them again, made sure they actually got to the polls, I am grateful from the bottom of my heart because our activism from every single one of us in the city is what we need. Not just to make sure that Boston makes the right choice this November, that Boston chooses a future that will truly be centered on our people, on all of us, on building coalitions and tackling our biggest challenges. But that Boston is changing the policies, the politics. Who is at the table together, able to shape our future? This is the moment that we will look back on one day and say, Boston stepped up with every single one of us at the table.
Let's go.
So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to thank you for everything you've done. I want to thank you for all that we will do.
Yes!